Thank you both so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
My
man.
pleasure.
First of all, I love the monkey. I had to ask publicity earlier. I was like, am I allowed to talk about it yet? And they were like, yeah, just no spoilers. So I've been like dying for everybody to see it because it's just so great. So congratulations to both of you on that. Oz, why did you end up choosing this project as your next project?
The project chose me, right? It was an assignment, and that makes it sound like homework, and it was really the opposite, right? It's this unbelievable golden ticket opportunity to work off of the great author, to sort of play in his sandbox and all that he's brought to the genre and to the world, and to just to entertainment in general, right? Stephen King has created so much viable, everlasting entertainment, whether it's horror stuff or it's Shawshank Redemption, like everything in between, right? Like, this is the guy. So to be able to sort of snuggle up to a master is a real privilege. And then on top of it, it comes with this image. It comes with this image of this toy monkey, which, for whatever reason, is uncanny to the human eye. Like, for whatever reason, anytime you see this thing, there's something off-putting about it. You kind of can't wrap your head around it. So, as a writer facing the blank page, it's nice to kind of have these big leg ups, Stephen King and this monkey's face.
I love that. And Theo, similarly, what attracted to you about the monkey, the film?
Well, Oz, I was very attracted to that monkey, I tell you. I mean, Oz boy here, I was a fan of his. I'd seen his work. We had worked together a little bit in developing something in the past. I knew how good a writer and a director he was, and then that, coupled with a piece of iconic IP, iconic literature from Stephen King, and then the chance to play two very different characters in a horror comedy, and beneath it, there's some real meat to it. There's a real sadness, a melancholy about fathers and sons, and intergenerational trauma. As pretentious as it sounds to say that, but it's true. So as an actor, you had the fun of it on the page, but you also had some meat beneath it to gobble up.
I've got to say, as you were doing the narration, I was thinking in the theater, and I'm like, it's a cross between like a 1940s radio announcer and like a sex line operator. And I was like,
It's that
oddly,
sweet spot. It's just that really, it's like a really fine line.
exactly. I was oddly horrified and intrigued all at the same time. So congratulations on that. And for you, Theo, when you're doing these kind of dual roles, and similarly, I'll ask you, Oz, but how do you approach that as an actor? It's got to be difficult, in my opinion. You're playing two very different people in the same film. How do you approach that?
Well, I think from the get-go, Oz and I didn't want to just rely on mannerisms or specific kinks or something, little tics that maybe the characters have, because we thought that might cheapen it in a way. We wanted to make it simple, but make them, incredibly different. You feel as an actor, when you read a script, if you can play it or not. When I was in my youth, I would pretend that I could play anything, but in reality now I'm a bit older. You know the stuff you can play and you know the stuff that you can't. And so you feel connected and you understand bits of the character and you empathize with bits of the character. Beyond that, you find little anchors. For example, in costume design, we were talking with a costume designer with Oz, and we were talking about the jacket. It seems like a small thing. Oz was very keen on him having, originally it was going to be kind of a rain jacket. It didn't quite work for camera, but then what he said was an anchor for me. He wanted Hal to have a kind of shell, like a very thin shell, like a snail, that he always needed something to protect him from the dangers of the outside world. And that is an interesting anchor as an actor, which you can build from. And then with Bill, his brother, it was realizing that he was just a little scared boy, and that made me feel for him and kind of understand him. So you look for those little pointers to kind of drill into.
I love that. Thank you both so much. That's my time. I can't wait for everybody to see The Monkey. It is so enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you.